Hi, I'm Bob Batcher, Executive Director of Prime Plus Senior Centers, and this is Prime Time with Bob. I think I know what we're going to talk about, but I don't know. I'm with my friends from the Norfolk Animal Care Center. We got all kinds of things we want to announce that we're doing that you can benefit from, but also talk about the benefit of a lifetime companion during COVID. There's a lot of people that are saying, you know, I'm trying to get to know my husband better, but I've been spending too much time with him. I'm going to go get a dog. And that a lot of people have done that, right? Michelle Dawson, how you doing? Michelle, I'm going to go around the circle and ask you to introduce yourselves to our audience. Michelle, who are you?
Hi, thanks. I'm Michelle Dawson. I'm the Bureau Manager here at the Norfolk Animal Care Center.
All right. And do you always have a dog in your lap?
He would like it, but there's always some sort of animal around me, yes.
So is that dog up for adoption?
This is actually my puppy. I'm at work so long for lots of hours and he won't have that. He's also older, so I bring him to work with me.
I wish somebody would say that to me. I'm older, so they're going to bring me to work. Peter.
Yes.
Hi.
I'm Peter Fisher. I'm a member of the Friends of Norfolk Animal Care Board for going on, I think, around 10 years. It's been a while. Can't remember how long exactly, but I started off with the Pet Pantry, actually. And we're going to talk about the Pet Pantry in a few minutes, but I'll get back to that.
Now, there are people that are going to see this and say, I know him. He saved my dog or my parakeet, or because you work with exotic animals too, right? As a vet.
Yes, I'm a veterinarian, my full-time job, and work with exotic species as well as dogs and cats.
So do you put a lizard to sleep and do surgery on it?
Yes, anesthetize, not put it to sleep, anesthetize.
Oh, I'm sorry. Put people to sleep. Okay. And then we have two people who are standing outside the Pet Pantry with masks on. So green mask, who are you behind that mask?
My name is Tammy Dodson, and I'm on the board of Friends of Norfolk Animal Care Center, and I'm the secretary and I'm the marketing chair. So yeah, I've been there about 4 or 5 years, I think. Super. Yeah, it has. And Jen.
Hi, Jen Held, and I'm the operations manager here at NACC.
Okay, do you realize the three of us are in heated buildings?
Yes.
Okay, so your commitment to serving the animal community is awesome. But Peter, let me ask you about the Pet Pantry, because you were really the one that kind of put it in the course that it's in. What is the Pet Pantry?
Well, just to correct you, I didn't, actually it was Pam and Marie that were on the board when I joined. They put it in place. And then I read about it in the newspaper and I said, well, I want to get involved. So I started volunteering on Saturdays. Back then, we just had pickups on Saturdays during a certain time frame, and I would help periodically handing out food, taking record keeping, etc. It was usually a line of people. And the Pet Pantry serves, back then it served the entire Hampton Roads community. For those who could qualify, you had to show that you had financial needs, pets that were not neutered, they had to be neutered in order to get the food dispersed to them. And if they weren't neutered, then they were cut off, but they were sent to places like the PETA SNP van that gave reasonable prices on neutering to make it affordable for them. And then the Pet Pantry, that was the very first Pet Pantry in Hampton Roads. Now every city in Southampton Roads has their own Pet Pantry. Oh, wow. So now we just serve Norfolk residents through the Norfolk Animal Care Center. So it's evolved a little bit.
You know, I was telling somebody I was going to do this interview and they said, oh, so you're going to the food bank? Because we think of, and of course, there are people who have food vulnerabilities or insecurities that they didn't even think they would. And so when you're thinking of feeding your family, you guys are holding a part of someone's family too. So Michelle, this is part of that whole strategy of trying to make sure that people can keep their animals at home, right?
Right. That's really our goal here, is to help our community and help keep families together. And that Pet Pantry, you see, I didn't even know that we had the first Pet Pantry in Hampton Roads. That's incredible. And it's, you know, obviously things change and evolve, and the Pet Pantry has grown into something where we have the formalized program where you can get on, you can apply and get on consistent assistance. Like every single month, we know what you need and we have it ready for you. But we also tried, especially during COVID times and beyond now, to make it a little bit more accessible. There are no requirements. If you just need a a one-time assistance. All you need to do is come on in and let us know what you need, and we're going to go back there. As you can see, we have a ton of stuff that we can give out. So yeah, I'm very happy to hear that was the first pet pantry and it's still going. That's incredible.
Norfolk is famous for being the first on a lot of things. Now, Peter, you don't go out shopping for this stuff either anymore because the generous community has been coming together, right?
Right. We've had lots of donations over the past 2 years. It's rarely we had to go out and buy something. Usually it's dropped off by generous donors at the facility, the Norfolk Animal Care Center, or different veterinary hospitals. We had a fundraiser Christmas time that the proceeds went to food that was dropped off, kind of a bring in a bag of food, we'll take care of making sure it goes to the right place. And then Friends of Norfolk Animal Care Center actually picked up the food and stocked the pet pantry.
In full disclosure, I'm also on the board too, and I have a confession to make that this is the first I've seen it stocked that high through camera. So I'm going to talk to our camera person, Jennifer.
Hi.
With COVID, you know, I think you watch the news and it's all about COVID, but in reality, life for people has gone on with or without COVID. So where you rely on, I mean, you don't rely on it, but you are here as an opportunity for people to turn in an animal. Well, their life circumstances have changed or whatever. They present at the door and say, I want you to take my dog. I can't handle it anymore. And then of course, with adoption, have you seen that increasing with COVID, with people saying, I got to give up on Pete, my dog?
We actually haven't yet, but we're also in a different area. We are a heavy military base town, so we haven't seen quite the number of like evictions and things like that other cities may have seen. But luckily, we've been able to, with the help of the pet pantry and the community resource guide that we put out, we've been able to help people a lot being able to keep their pets, because that is always our first priority, is to try to make sure that we can, if we can, supply those resources so that we can give them food, point them in the right direction of low cost veterinary services, just because we want to be able to keep the families together.
Right. Now, Tammy, I know you came to the board because you used to be a volunteer, you still are a volunteer at the Animal Care Center. So there's a role there that can be played, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I used to walk dogs Thursday evenings and sometimes on the weekends. And I just saw firsthand how hard people work here and how caring, and they're just really here for the animals. And you know, from cleaning the entire building from top to bottom every morning is not an easy task. So I just have been a big supporter, just admired the shelter for so long. And the pet pantry is just like icing on the cake. It's one more of the many services that the shelter provides to the community. And you know, and I also wanted to mention, it's not a big ordeal to come by and get food or litter if they have it or anything. I don't want people to be scared that they have to bring in their tax statement or something serious. It's just really just come by and ask the front desk and they'll go from there.
If there's a need, we'll take care of it.
Yeah, and it can be a one-time thing. And if there isn't a serious issue and it needs to be longer, then they'll work with you on that too. So.
Michelle, I got to ask you, I'm saving this question for you because Tammy mentioned cleaning. And somebody said, well, does it smell better? And I said, you know what? It doesn't smell at all at the shelter. How do you do that? There is no odor, anything, no cover up, no nothing.
I will say, and I'll lead with this, people often will say, well, how come you only open at 11 or 12? And I'm thinking, like, there are, up to 200 animals back there. It takes a little while to get clean. So our staff are really, really, this shelter, it doesn't smell, and it doesn't smell like a shelter, which is incredible. We have really good air circulation, but our staff really work hard on, best protocols for cleaning. And we are lucky to have a really great cleaning product that help. And they also know how to use it properly. So it's a lot of hard work. I don't want to say blood, sweat, and tears, but literally blood, sweat, and tears that goes into caring for these animals at such a high standard of care.
Peter, Michelle's putting her dog to sleep. Did you notice that? He's rubbing his eyes. That's sleep, right?
That's rest, sleep.
That's rest. Yeah. Let me ask you, because again, my dog is one of your patients. And when I got Sophie years and years ago, Some would say she wasn't adoptable back then. She had skin conditions. She was blind in one eye. She just wasn't adoptable, but I fell in love with her. That's something that the Friends of Norfolk Animal Care is involved in too, and really helping some of these animals get to the point where they are adoptable, right?
Correct. We pay for certain medical services. We help with sustain the ability to spay and neuter, but also animals that need surgery or medical care beyond that. Say a dog comes in heartworm positive, Friends of Norfolk Animal Care will help subsidize the treatment of that heartworm disease so the animal is ready to be adopted without extra expense taken on by the adoptee of the dog. So that's just one example.
So why adopt a less than perfect animal?
Because they need us. I adopted a dog. My COVID dog is not with me in my lap right now, but is in the house. And she came with cataracts, and I knew that. And so I was willing to take her on and have those fixed or treated by a veterinary ophthalmologist at my own expense, which was fine with me. I certainly can afford it as a veterinarian, and I certainly love dogs, and she loves me so much. And just seeing her go from being blind to being visual again was just a great experience for me. I really had, I had never experienced that before. I've certainly referred lots of patients to a veterinary ophthalmologist for lens implants to correct cataracts, but never experienced it myself. So it's really rewarding.
Cool, yeah. Hey, Tammy, where are you over there? I thought you were getting into the dog biscuits.
We're trying to get into the different angles and
We're feeling
testing our camera skills.
You know, you got a pretty high power, influential job at ODU. I mean, you really do. You do.
I don't know about high power, but
Well, we
I do
won't
love
tell
them.
anybody. But why are you volunteering and getting on the board and all that? I mean, isn't it good enough just to have a dog?
Well, you know, to be quite honest, it started when I first got separated from my marriage, and I worked with a guy that had been volunteering. He works at ODU with me, and he had been volunteering walking. Well, he does cats, and so I was like, you know, I think I need to keep active and get out of the house, and so I started. I went the dog route. I love cats, but I'm a little more a dog person. But anyway, so I started walking dogs, and I kind of got really into it. And so I would help. I would volunteer at some of the events that we did for fundraising, and then, you know, back on Michelle's thing about the cleaning, I even helped come in on Sunday mornings and be part of the cleaning team, and that was my workout. It was seriously a workout. You would sweat your rear end off, and from top to bottom. So I did that for several, you know, for Sundays for like probably a year or more. But anyway, and then I got to know all the people that were also volunteering at events and stuff with NACC for fundraising, and they were just fun and fun to hang out with. And I met some board members, and then the next thing I know, they asked me to be on the board. So it kind of goes hand in hand for me because I'm the marketing manager, you know, for ODU Online, and so marketing's kind of in my blood and special events. So it's just something that I like doing, and if I can help raise, you know, 50 cents for this shelter, I'll do it. It's just I saw behind the scenes so thoroughly. I'm just sold, you know, down to my toenails. I just think that the world of everybody here, and the staff is great. You know, so animals, if I can help an animal, that's what I want to do. I don't know. I just got in my blood, and I'm not letting go. I'm going to be here for a while.
Well, what a great way to kind of bring this conversation to a close. During COVID, we're all struggling. I loved it, Pete, when you made the comment about your COVID dog. We're struggling with that connection with community. And so what better way to get connected, but look at ways of volunteering in a safe environment, but also consider bringing in an animal that wants to doze on your lap and can provide that unconditional love. And as Dr. Fisher said, why adopt somebody that's not adoptable? Because they need it. So thanks for everything that you guys are doing to really bring our community together. And we're going to get out of this COVID thing no matter what. But do it with a friend. And a friend can be a cat, a dog, or a bunny, or even a lizard. So thanks for being with us, and keep in mind, stay safe and stay connected. See you next time.
Thank you, Bob.
Thanks, Bob.